Welcome to PoliticsNY with Skye Behind the Curtain, where we speak with different industry professionals and candidates for office and talk to them about who they are to get to know them as a person before the upcoming election. And right now, I have the pleasure of being with Nadia Holubnyczyj, who's running for Nassau County Legislature, one of the legislative seats, so for District 8. So it's a pleasure to be here with you, Nadia.
Thank you, Skye. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself for people who don't know you.
I live in Floral Park. I'm married we just celebrated our 21st anniversary. I have two teenage boys, 16 and 18. God help me. And and I have been active in the community for, I feel like, eons. For about 20 years in the community. I've been an advocate. I've been PTA president. I've been a civic president for 6 years. I've served on many committees. And I love being involved in the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's great to get someone like you. I know this is your first time running for a county-wide seat. And if you win, you'd be the first Democrat in this seat. You'd be the first woman in this seat, and you'd be the first disabled person to serve on the Nassau County Legislature.
That's right. That's right. It's very exciting. And I think it's time that the legislature, our local government, reflects the demographics, our community. Maybe 40, 50 years ago, it was, men in suits. But that's not what happens in our community. Our community's changed tremendously and continues to change. And we need representatives that look like the community.
Mm-hmm.
I am disabled. I am like this big. That's what I always say. I use a wheelchair full time. So I'm keenly aware of the needs of the disabled, either temporary or permanent, because the reality is at some point, everyone gets a disability, even if it's temporary. If you're using crutches, boom, you're disabled. So I have that perspective. I have the perspective of a mother, of a wife. I'm a speech language pathologist by background. So as a clinician, and I think I reflect the community.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in New York City this wave to vote 21 women in 2021, and they voted in. Now it looks like there's going to be 31 women in the New York
Awesome.
City.
Yeah.
So we'll continue the wave, hopefully, into Nassau County and get more women elected.
Yes, women. And I actually really strongly believe we need more disabled people elected as well. That is, it's a minority, but yet disabled people are productive members of society. We need better representation. We often get glossed over and forgotten about, like many minority communities. So we need to lift up the disabled community.
Totally. Are there certain things that come to your mind in Nassau County that you would want to regulate or call to attention to serve more disabled people?
Right. So public transportation is a big one. And I'm proud to say the Floral Park train station, I'm going to use past tense, yay, it still does, has 40 steps up. It's an elevated platform. It's in the center of town. And all the time that I've lived here, 20 years, I have never seen the tracks because it's inaccessible. I would always have to go to another accessible train station. And when the governor was proposing the third track project, $3 billion, he was starting it just east of the station. And that was very disheartening to hear. We have all this money going into a great project, and this station was forgotten. The disabled community was forgotten. Even young families with strollers and elderly, we were forgotten. So I advocated and I knocked on the governor's door, made some connections at that office, certainly bothered our local leaders, spoke at all the public hearings. And now we have 3 new elevators at the Floral Park train station. So there's the advocacy, and otherwise we would have been forgotten.
Yeah. I'm sure there are a bunch of other things that could come to mind too.
Absolutely. Even the bus lines in Nassau County, they're limited for the disabled. There are a lot of parameters that you have to fall into to get that service. Oftentimes I'll see someone disabled waiting for the service to come pick them up. Then they become late for their appointments. It doesn't cross county lines. There's a lot of restrictions that I think need to change to make it more equitable.
Yeah. So how do you typically get around on a regular basis?
I actually am fortunate enough to be able to drive. I have a minivan. I lift the chair in. You know, I do have that ability, thank goodness. You know, so I get to chauffeur my kids around.
And you mentioned you're celebrating your wedding anniversary, so maybe we'll get a little personal. How did you meet your husband? You said he's from Guatemala.
Oh my gosh, get ready for this. America Online.
Wow.
America Online. You're
AOL?
AOL. You're too young.
No, my first email address was an AOL email address.
Well, actually, this goes back into the 90s.
Like it got mail.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, yes, we're going to reference a movie on that one. And here's one even better. I used to be a room moderator.
Like a chat
room moderator. I had a New York City room that was very popular, and I was a moderator. And America Online used to compensate their employees by giving free AOL.
Okay.
And so every week, you know, every day, people are coming in and out of the rooms, and I had to moderate, you know, for appropriate language, et cetera, et cetera. And I did have these powers of booting people off, and although I never did. And he would come in frequently. You know, at the end of the day, you go in, and that's what you would do. You go into a chat room, and every weekend, our group would actually meet in person. It was a safe space. You know, it was a good way to actually then see each other in person. And so he said, you know, oh, I'm going to come. You know, and I'm like, okay. So we met up, and there you go. At first, he was a nice new friend. I wasn't very, you know.
Now you might be a pioneer of online dating. How many years ago was that?
So 25 years ago.
Wow. That
25 years ago.
First generation of connecting online.
Yeah. And it's a different ball game now. I mean, it's crazy, but yes, absolutely. And you know what, though, we were still very cautious even back then. We knew better. You know, we would always meet as a group. We would never connect, or I and my friends would never connect, you know, one-on-one. It was always, oh, look, oh, great, you want to meet? We're all going to be, you know, in Lower Manhattan on this, you know, on this day, you know, at 9 p.m., you know, come on down and we'll say hi. You know?
Wow. Look
so,
at that.
Yeah,
What
America Online.
What a great story. So it's really a pleasure to get to know you just a little bit here on PoliticsNY with Skye, and good luck to you. I'm rooting for you as the first woman, the first disabled person who would serve on the Nassau County legislature, and the first Democrat in that seat. So
thank you.
Good luck to you.
Fingers crossed. I'm working hard, and I just want everyone to know that you will have a voice. I'm not one of those rubber stamp people. Everything is with thought and caring behind each decision.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Skye. Thank you.